Hi, Gemini parents. Welcome to Parental Guidance for a 2020 overview. I want to thank you all for being patient with me while I've been away for probably, the past 5 months. So I just want to, before we start again, do a recap of 2021, or not do a recap, but just give you some guidance moving forward of some things that you could possibly expect for the year ahead. There we go. And 4 cups. Just putting out there because it seemed like it just wanted to be seen. But the 4 cups, at some point in 2021, there could be opportunities brought to your little one where, they may have an issue with choosing, being aware what projects to choose, what things to choose, and maybe possibly just not being bothered, where they're not concerned about anything. They're not needing to be led a certain direction. They're just going with the flow. But I don't get the sense that they are being stubborn. I just think they could be really doing their own thing in 2021 where, there's opportunities, but they're ultimately going to choose the one that best suits them. We're going to get some possible emotional insight on what your child could be experiencing this year. And then also more of a dynamic for the last 4 months on some of the undertones that we have missed. I know I've done this differently for Taurus and Aries, but I just want to take a different approach so that the readings are more action-based and not so focused on relationships, because even though it gives us an emotional state, it's not really sharing what the situation is that your child is going to have to contend with in the month. So let's move on in January, or let's start with January. So in the month of January, your Gemini child could have had lots of opportunities come their way. Some expectations with that. So those may have been good or bad. But it seems like they could have, in the month of January, just had a hesitancy on moving forward, or they doubted their personal power on how they should move forward and proceed. In the month of February, the overview energy for your Gemini child was just coming in, with words. Gemini is an air sign. Swords is an air card. So it could have been a situation where they maybe went in too hot with something that they wanted to share. I don't know exactly if that went badly for them. It's possible. They may not have had the outcome that they wanted with this orgasm card in reverse. And again, take these words very loosely. This is a relationship deck, a love deck. And so the words and verbiage is a little bit more mature. And spiritual awareness. So yeah, I personally feel that they could have been too confident, or thought that they had all the dots, the I's dotted and the T's crossed, and there just wasn't something, it was something that they overlooked. So it's not a big deal. I don't feel like it bothered them too much, but they may have put more energy in something, more time into something than what they needed to, and they could have or should have put their energies elsewhere. But I don't see it as a major setback. So moving on to March, the 6 of Wands. They did get some victory. It could have been a very slow victory for them, but something did work out in their favor. It brought them happiness. I wouldn't say necessarily falling in love. It could have been for whoever, for some adult Gemini children. But I see a progression where it could have been something where they met someone, they shot their shot in February, it miscalculated, but somehow in March they got the victory. But I still see this issue of doubt. Something worked out, but it seems like they are still doubting. They're still in their heads about their confidence and their abilities to have something. Let's move on to April. So in the month of April, you could see your child dealing with, the Eight of Pentacles. They're doing some work. They're working hard. They're putting something together. They're very dutiful in the month of April. And it feels like it has to do with a relationship for some. It has to do with something that's a passion project or that means something to them, but they're trying to do the work to draw something in that means a lot to them. And again, it's like there's something in their mind, and I don't know why, but we got there. It's like action and in their heads, like they're in this energy where they're like not trusting their intuition, and then they're doubting themselves to the point where they're not moving. But they're definitely, I get a strong, clear sense that they are working towards something, a project, something that means a lot to them. There's a lot of action, a lot of material like manifestation, practicality, getting something into motion. So I see the action, I see the work, I see the effort, I see the trying, but it's like something mentally and within themselves that they are doubting, and it's causing this stalemate where they're not moving their feet and they're doubting in their minds that they're capable, and it just creates this internal bucking where they're not making much progress. Let's move on to May. In the month of May, you may find that your Gemini child doesn't feel like the Queen of Wands. There's some healing going on. I feel like there's a stalemate that your child reaches with this Queen of Wands, where somehow they get to a place where they decide, you know what, this isn't working. I keep hitting a wall and I'm just going to stop. So I feel like by them stopping, they are within themselves doing some regeneration, some healing, looking at things differently. Let's see, trying to get these cards. In the month of June, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So again, they're coming, because they've taken their time to heal, I feel like they're coming out of this place of, being between a rock and a hard spot. They're just coming out of that energy. And I don't know why. I see. Maybe the underlining causes where it could be for some is, this whole year, this heart stop, this, moving, not going forward, like this stalemate could have done with the words or the actions that somebody, an external figure, a parent, somebody's been feeding in their mind that's caused confusion. And it's like they're doing what someone else wants them to do, not following their passion, or by not listening to this person, it gives them a complex, or by listening to themselves, the person doesn't like it, and it just creates this start-stop within them. And, they're coming out of this stalemate energy, but there's somebody in their life that could be invoking this never enough. Like, it doesn't matter what I do, you're never happy, you're never satisfied, you're never pleased. And it could be themselves. They could have an unrealistic expectation within themselves, where they're just like never satisfied. They're doing so much, they're accomplishing so much, but still they're just not allowing themselves to enjoy the moment. So that could possibly apply to Gemini adults who are in a relationship, but follow the themes as they resonate with you. Moving on to July. The King of Swords. Now, somebody could be stubborn. It's possible. But I really, again, I'm getting like the stalemate. I am getting stubbornness. It's like a passive aggressive stalemate. Yeah. I don't know, perhaps holding on longer than something needs to stay there. I do get a passive aggressive stalemate in the month of July for Gemini children. And I don't know how it is going to manifest for you and your family. Not letting something go, wanting to keep trying, or it could be something external, but it really just could be them not letting go of something within themselves that they need to change. But because it's brought to their attention, they could just get really stubborn and stalemate, or, not really cooperate and help things to progress. And they just, become really rigid with holding on, this not moving or being very fixed in their energy in the month of July, which is not like Gemini. Gemini isn't, naturally a fixed or rigid sign, but all signs have the possibility to, kind of mimic each other if put in the right situation. So in August, we have the Six of Pentacles. There's a sense of benevolence. Could be some nostalgia reflecting in childhood with the Gemini child, a sense of remembrance, specialness. So I think for some in this case, they are thinking back to, who they used to be. Let me look at this a little bit more. There's some kind of reflection of the past with this specialness. You can see in this picture, like they are reflecting on, they think they're more special than what they are. So it's some kind of like grandeur or something that's like out of context. But I do get there is this reminiscence of something in the childhood. There could be some giving involved, but I just get that it isn't coming from the right place. In the month of August, there's some kind of self-deception, where it's like they feel better by giving, but I also feel that whatever giving comes from a place to fill a void that they won't deal with directly. September brings us to, yay, some kind of transformation. And death is, in a sense, a transformation. So in the reverse, it could be a stalemate, possibly. There could be some rigidness. Let's see. Push and pull. Push me, pull me. I'm just getting really I'm getting stubborn, passive aggressive energy. Like there's this stalemate, like this stuff could change, but and again, these energies can shift. This is based on, I guess, the neutral energies that are up ahead, but you could see this information and help your child get through this by when you have children of your own. It's like they're gonna do what they're gonna do. So anyway, it's like I try to create the environment so I can record quietly, but when you have children, that's not always possible. So anyway, like these energies can change. It's just based on how you choose to work with your child to maybe make them more aware, to adjust the circumstances. But I'm getting stuck. I'm getting stuck energy. I don't see any push-pull. I'm just getting a lot of stagnation off the top of my head. And again, this is my interpretation. So it doesn't mean that that's all that there is to the story. But just I'm seeing stagnation. an unwillingness or undesire to do anything or move forward, which kind of brings out this energy in the Four of Cups. The Five of Cups, they're not, thankfully, they're not, crying over the Three Cups in front of them. I feel like they are, there's a flow coming. They're more paying attention to the flow. They're seeing the other two cups that are right there behind them. And yes, to answer that, there is a sense of responsiveness that develops in October. And you see, like with the hills, this windingness, something is turning around for them. So it may just be that, for the fall, whatever happens in the fall, it could be, some stagnation, late summer, early fall, some stagnation as the weather changes. And once things get settled, they, may find their place. Let's move on to November. In November, they have the Sun. What a great card to have. There's happiness, there's bliss in the summer, and there's play. So this is a great combination. I can tell that this is something that is, assured. We have red and we have yellow in both of these cards, and orange too. So I just see in blue, if we really want to get technical, but it's bright, it's happy, it's sunny, and there's play. So something changes in the month of October that affects November. And so I'm just glad that that's a sure sign that good stuff is on the horizon for them in November. So moving on to our last card, December, the Hermit. Doesn't necessarily have to be like all like non-responsive and in their feelings, or it's not, being a hermit isn't negative. I think it's just a card about self-reflection and mistake. So it's possible that they are reflecting on something, but let me look at this. I think maybe it is. In December, there's a time of self-reflection and looking over the year and see what they've accomplished. They could possibly see something as a mistake, but I really just feel like this is where they could have gone. And this self-reflection is, just taking time and energy to reevaluate their position and then choosing within the month of December to go a different way. So I hope that gives you guys some kind of insight on what you can expect for the year ahead for your Gemini children. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.